Leo seems pretty chill sipping his espresso with his girl in Italy. But is that really a vacation? Or is it perhaps a getaway from all the troubles that are waiting back home? If Leo isn't hiding anything, then why is he running away from questions like this?
Affiliated with P. Diddy.
Did you start joining Diddy for his freak off?
Leonardo DiCaprio seems to be trying to shake off his playboy image and distance himself from his past friendship with Diddy. But it might be too late for fans who are now turning away from him. You just can't help but notice that Leo's reputation took a major blow, partly due to the fact that Diddy's list of accusations just keeps on growing. Everybody and their mama knows that Diddy is in serious trouble and he's facing charges for federal sex trafficking and racketeering. He was arrested and jailed in New York's Metropolitan Detention Center back in September. And around that time, old photos from Diddy's infamous party started popping up again. Some of these resurfaced images showed big names like DiCaprio, causing a lot of speculation online. It makes you wonder if these Hollywood stars, including Leo, knew about or were involved in Diddy's wild parties, known for copious amounts of drugs and other inappropriate behavior that you can already imagine.
And I'm sure that's probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Without a doubt, you are invited.
That is so generous of you. Cheers to that.
See you at the white party.
As more details come out about the case against Diddy, Leo's name just keeps popping up more and more. That photo where Leo attended Diddy's 1998 white party in the Hamptons was seen in some of the resurfaced pictures. And of course, even back then he was enjoying himself with a drink and a cigarette while hanging out with Diddy and others. Even though reports suggest Leo has been trying to distance himself from Diddy, some fans feel he can't escape his past. He hasn't been named in the federal case, but a few people defending him say that just staying silent doesn't make him guilty. Just because he didn't say anything doesn't make him the main culprit. That's true, but it does make him shady. In Hollywood, secrets don't stay hidden for long. Not to mention, if you take a look into what Leo's been posting or reposting on his social media, you quickly realize that his rep ain't what it used to be. Almost all the comments are about Leo's connection to Diddy. Take this post that Leo shared recently on his IG page about the upcoming elections in the US. These comments paint a picture of Leo as a guilty man. Diddy Caprio. Epstein Island plus Diddy party equals you. Hello, Diddy's favorite guest. But you see, Leo felt some type of way seeing all these things unfold in the public eye, so he decided to speak up through his PR team, or whoever's representing him. Leonardo has been steady distancing himself from Diddy ever since those old photos started making rounds. According to a source close to Leo, he hasn't had anything to do with Diddy for years. The source also made it clear that DiCaprio never attended any of the freak-offs and has no involvement in Diddy's current legal issues. The last time the two were publicly seen together was the Democratic National Convention in 2004, though we did see Leo dancing near Diddy at his 50th birthday party in 2019. The PR team also insisted that many others attended Diddy's parties in the early 2000s. They were big house parties, not the wild freak-offs now under investigation. At that time, Leo was just starting his career and had since moved far beyond that lifestyle. Now, let's be honest here. We can't and shouldn't jump to any conclusions about Leonardo's involvement just yet. It's important to keep an eye on how things unfold, though. With more details about Diddy's case surfacing and old connections being scrutinized, it wouldn't be surprising if more comes to light. Leo's been steering clear of trouble so far, but in Hollywood, reputations can shift quickly, and staying silent isn't always enough. Now, just how did Leo even get that stage where he's invited to Diddy parties? Well, he's had an interesting career so far, and it feels like lately, he's just trying to change the impression that he's giving. So, as y'all know, Leo started acting as a child and has been in Hollywood for decades. But beyond his talent, his personal life has also been a topic of conversation, especially his well-known dating pattern. He's rarely linked with women over 28. This, along with rumors of his involvement in Diddy's parties, has put his golden boy image under the microscope. But Leo has been trying to shed this party boy image for years, focusing more on his environmental activism. At 49, he's reportedly sensitive about his past and his preference for dating younger women. Right now, he's dating 26-year-old Italian model Vittoria Serretti, and the couple was recently seen in Italy having dinner with their families. But he ain't fooling everyone. Some firmly believe that Leo left the US to dodge the gossip swirling around him. Now, what is his partner in crime Diddy doing? Well, safe to say he's not going for walks in a country overseas. In fact, he might not see anything other than his jail cell for a very long time, perhaps on a TV screen. Diddy is set to face trial on May 5th, 2025, which could drag on for a month or more, especially if more charges are added. If convicted, he's looking at life in prison. His legal team has been trying to get him out on bail, but so far, 3 appeals have been denied, and they're still waiting on a decision for the latest request filed on October 11th. Diddy was recently arrested and charged in New York with racketeering, sex trafficking, and prostitution-related offenses. The accusations claim that Diddy forced women into elaborate, organized sex events, aka freak-offs. Reports Reports even mention the discovery of 1,000 bottles of baby oil at his properties, with women allegedly so exhausted by the activities that they were required IV drops afterwards. But the news about Diddy is developing quite fast, and every day there's a new story to be told. Recently, 6 more people filed civil complaints against Combs, all choosing to remain anonymous. According to Diddy's team, these new allegations came after a lawyer representing 120 accusers claimed that his firm had received thousands of calls within just one day. The indictment paints a picture of decades-long abuse where Diddy allegedly manipulated women through all kinds of nasty means. Manipulation, threats, you name it. But he's somehow fighting back and doing what he can, or at least his legal advisors are. Diddy's legal team is pushing for prosecutors to reveal the identities of his accusers in the ongoing case against him, at least according to the court docs. His legal team argued that knowing who these individuals are is crucial for him to prepare for his trial, which is set for May 5th. Before that happens, Diddy will most likely remain behind bars. Everyone agrees that this case is unusual. The sheer number of accusations is something that we haven't seen in a long time. Many of these are linked to his celebrity status and wealth, but let's be honest, all the media coverage has amplified the situation. Diddy's lawyers express concerns that this flood of accusations, which they feel have already damaged his reputation, is creating a media frenzy. They argue that this could make it impossible for him to receive a fair trial. They've requested that prosecutors identify all alleged victims given the number and anonymity of the accusers, but the prosecution is pushing back on this. Diddy's lawyers argue that without knowing who the other accusers are, it's impossible for him to properly defend himself, especially given how broad the allegations seem. They claim that the government's wording suggests Diddy's entire sexual history over the past 16 years could be scrutinized. His legal team insists that he needs clarity to avoid defending against accusations the government may not even plan to use in court. They also point out that with so much evidence expected to be presented, it will be nearly impossible for Diddy to figure out who the unnamed accusers are. His lawyers say that the evidence likely includes consensual sexual activity, which would make it even harder for him to distinguish which past partners are now claiming coercion. As for Diddy, all that is on his mind right now is his daughter who just had her birthday, and he wasn't there as her father to see her eat her birthday cake and share those precious moments with her. As we wait for Diddy's upcoming trial, it's clear that this case is already making headlines for its complexity and the volume of accusations. This is a huge celebrity case that will take its sweet time, and it's going to be a long time before we see justice being served around here. That's just how it goes with cases this big. Just think of other celeb cases, such as R. Kelly and the like. On the other hand, Leo DiCaprio, who was once a guest at Diddy's famous white parties, seems to have distanced himself from the scandal. Sources close to Leo are adamant that he hasn't been involved with Diddy for years and has nothing to do with the allegations or the events that have come to light. As more details unfold, we'll keep an eye on how Diddy's defense shapes up and whether any of these past connections resurface in the courtroom. It's a story that's bound to keep evolving, so stay tuned for the latest updates.